You've been lied to about confidence your entire life. They told you to feel confident first, then act, to believe in yourself before you do the thing, to visualize success until it magically appears. That's not how confidence works. That's how you stay stuck forever. Your brain is wired for survival, not success. It will keep you scared, anxious, and frozen until you understand one brutal truth. Confidence is the output, not the input. The people you admire, the ones who walk into rooms like they own them, they didn't feel confident before they became confident. They acted first. They failed first. They kept promises to themselves when every fiber of their being screamed to quit. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to reprogram how you think about confidence. And by the end, you'll understand exactly why you've been stuck and precisely how to become dangerously confident. The confidence lie. Let me expose the biggest lie ever sold about confidence. You've seen the advice everywhere. Write affirmations on your bathroom mirror. Tell yourself you're amazing every morning. Visualize success until you feel it in your bones. Here's the problem. The mirror cannot change what stands before it. Your subconscious mind knows when you're lying to yourself. When you stand there saying, "I am confident," while your entire life history screams otherwise, your brain doesn't believe you. It remembers every failure, every rejection, every time you backed down, and it laughs at your little sticky notes. Affirmations without action are just delusion with extra steps. The self-help industry made billions selling you hope without homework. They promise transformation through repetition. But confidence isn't built in front of mirrors. It's built in the arena. The people writing those affirmation books, they got confident by writing books, building businesses, taking massive action. Then they told you to skip all that and just believe harder. That's like asking someone who's never exercised to believe themselves into shape. Your brain needs evidence. Your nervous system needs proof. And that brings us to something even more disturbing about how your mind actually works. Survival programming. Your brain has one primary function: keep you alive. Not happy, not successful, not confident, alive. That's it. Every fear response, every moment of hesitation, every time you talked yourself out of something, that was your ancient survival programming doing exactly what it was designed to do. Thousands of years ago, standing out meant getting eaten. Taking risks meant dying. Your ancestors who played it safe, who stayed with the tribe, who never challenged the status quo, they survived long enough to pass their genes to you. Survival, the ones who were bold and fearless, they got killed before they could reproduce. So here you are, carrying the DNA of the cautious, the anxious, the ones who always assumed the worst. Your brain interprets a job interview the same way it interprets a tiger attack. Public speaking triggers the same fear response as falling off a cliff. Your nervous system cannot tell the difference between real danger and perceived danger. So it keeps you scared of everything that might lead to judgment, rejection, or standing out. If this survival programming is running your life without you knowing it, hit like and subscribe to reprogram more of these hidden blocks, because what comes next changes everything about how you approach fear. Fear is an illusion. Here's something that will change how you see fear forever. Fear is a mile wide and an inch deep. Let me explain. Researchers studied people with severe public speaking anxiety. They measured heart rates before speeches. Average was 190 beats per minute. Absolute terror, hands shaking, voice cracking, convinced they were about to die. The body cannot distinguish between excitement and fear. But here's the revelation. 15 seconds after they started speaking, heart rate dropped to 150. The moment they stepped on stage, the fear began dissolving. Not because they felt ready, not because they suddenly became confident, simply because they acted despite the fear. Fear is temporary. The anticipation of the thing is always worse than the thing itself. Your brain creates horror movies about what might happen, but the moment you're actually doing it, your nervous system realizes you're not dying and it starts to calm down. Every successful person knows this secret. The fear never goes away completely. They just learned it's a paper tiger, a projection of danger that evaporates upon contact. But most people never make contact. They let the mile-wide illusion stop them, never discovering it's only an inch deep. The confidence code. So if confidence isn't something you feel before you act, what is it? Here's the code that separates the confident from the chronically stuck. We do not rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our systems. Confidence is the byproduct of keeping promises to yourself. That's it. Every time you say you'll wake up early and you don't, you lose confidence. Every time you commit to exercising and you skip it, you lose confidence. Every time you tell yourself you'll speak up in that meeting and you stay silent, you lose confidence. 1. Small broken promises erode self-trust. 2. Self-trust is the foundation of confidence. 3. No foundation means no confidence. Your subconscious is keeping score. It remembers every commitment you made to yourself and whether you honored it or not. And after years of broken promises, your brain simply stops believing you. Why would it? You've proven you can't be trusted. You became unreliable to the most important person in your life, yourself. This is why people with achievement feel confident. Not because of the achievement itself, but because they proved they could trust themselves to do hard things. The confidence came after. This brings us to the practical framework that actually builds real confidence. The evidence stack. Here's the system that builds unshakable confidence. I call it the evidence stack. Your brain makes decisions based on evidence from your past. If your evidence says you're someone who quits, you'll feel like a quitter. If your evidence says you're someone who follows through, you'll feel unstoppable. The key is starting with something so small you literally cannot lose. Stack so much proof that confidence becomes inevitable. Don't commit to an hour at the gym. Commit to putting on your shoes. Don't promise to write a book. Promise to write one sentence. Don't swear you'll transform your life. Promise to make your bed. The goal isn't the action itself. The goal is building a streak of kept promises. Each kept promise is a brick. Stack enough bricks and you build an unshakable foundation. After 30 days of keeping tiny promises, your brain has 30 pieces of evidence that you can be trusted. After 90 days, you have 90. After a year, your subconscious has accumulated so much proof of your reliability that confidence becomes automatic. Evidence creates belief. This isn't motivational fluff. This is neuroscience. Your brain literally rewires itself based on repeated behavior. But there's a critical mistake most people make with this approach. The compound effect. Most people try to build confidence too fast. They make huge commitments after watching a motivational video. They promise to wake at 5 a.m., meditate for an hour, exercise for 2 hours, read 50 pages, and work on their side business for 3 hours. All starting tomorrow. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Einstein wasn't just talking about money. The compound effect applies to confidence too. A 1% improvement daily becomes a 37 times improvement over a year. But a 1% decline daily leaves you with almost nothing. Small, consistent actions defeat massive, inconsistent efforts. The person who does 5 push-ups every single day for a year will be more confident than the person who does 100 push-ups once and quits. Because confidence isn't about the size of the action. It's about the consistency of the commitment. Consistency. Your brain doesn't care how impressive the individual action is. It cares whether you showed up, whether you did what you said you would do. The tiny daily deposits compound into massive confidence reserves, but most people are too impatient. They want transformation without accumulation, and that impatience is exactly what keeps them stuck. The identity shift. Here's where it gets powerful. After enough evidence accumulates, something shifts. You stop being someone who is trying to be confident. You become someone who is confident. Identity follows action. This is the phase where confidence becomes effortless. You no longer have to push yourself to act because acting is simply who you are now. The evidence stack has rewritten your identity. Think about someone who has exercised every day for 5 years. They don't wake up debating whether to work out. They don't need motivation. Exercise is part of who they are. Their identity does the heavy lifting. The goal is not to run a marathon. The goal is to become a runner. The same applies to confidence. The goal isn't to do confident things. The goal is to become a confident person through accumulated evidence. And once that identity shift happens, you'll look back at your old self with almost confusion. How did you ever let fear stop you? How did you ever not trust yourself? That version feels like a stranger because you've literally become someone else. Speaking of becoming someone else, there's one final piece most people miss entirely: the action paradox. The greatest paradox of confidence is this: you have to act confident before you feel confident, but acting confident when you don't feel it seems fake. Isn't that just pretending? Here's the truth: all confident behavior starts as conscious performance. Every person you admire for their natural confidence once had to deliberately practice being confident. They felt the same fear you feel. They had the same doubts, but they acted anyway. And through repetition, the act became authentic. The performance eventually becomes the identity. Psychologists call this the as-if principle. When you act as if you're confident, your brain begins producing the neurochemistry of confidence. Your posture changes your psychology. Your behavior influences your beliefs. 1. Act confident despite fear. 2. Brain produces confidence chemistry. 3. Feeling catches up to behavior. 4. Behavior becomes identity. The fake it till you make it advice isn't entirely wrong. It's just incomplete. You're not faking confidence. You're practicing it. You're giving your brain the experiences it needs to believe you deserve to feel confident. Every confident person started as a nervous person who decided to act anyway. There's no other path, but there's one critical element that makes this entire system fail or succeed: the failure secret. Here's what separates the dangerously confident from everyone else: their relationship with failure. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Most people see failure as evidence they shouldn't try. Confident people see failure as evidence they are trying. The difference is everything. Failure equals data. When you fail and keep going, you send a powerful message to your subconscious. You're saying that your commitment to growth is stronger than your fear of looking bad. That message builds deeper confidence than any success ever could. Think about it. Someone who has succeeded at everything has never proven they can handle adversity. Someone who has failed repeatedly and kept going has proven they are unstoppable. Unstoppable. The most confident people aren't the ones who never fail. They are the ones who have failed so many times that failure has lost its power over them. Each failure is just another brick in their evidence stack. More proof that they can survive discomfort. More proof that they keep their promises to themselves regardless of outcome. Failure is the tuition for confidence. And that brings us to the final piece, the one that makes all of this actually work in your life: the 15 minutes. You've now had 15 minutes to understand what took me years to learn. Confidence is the output, not the input. Your brain will keep you scared until you prove through action that fear is an illusion. The way forward is ridiculously simple. Make a tiny promise to yourself right now. Something so small you cannot fail. Then keep that promise no matter what. Tomorrow, make another tiny promise and keep it. Stack the evidence. Let the compound effect work in your favor. After a week, you'll feel different. After a month, you'll act different. After a year, you'll be someone who cannot be stopped. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, not with feeling ready for 1,000 miles, not with visualizing the destination, with a single step. Start today now. The confident version of you isn't someone you need to become. It's someone you need to uncover through action. The evidence is waiting to be created. The promises are waiting to be kept. The only question is whether you'll take that first step or keep waiting to feel ready. Because if you're waiting to feel ready, you'll wait forever. That's not how confidence works. That's how life passes you by. Everything you need to become dangerously confident you already have. You don't need more information. You don't need better circumstances. You don't need someone's permission. You need to start keeping promises to yourself. Action before feeling. That's the code. That's the secret that separates the confident from the chronically stuck. Your brain was programmed for survival, but you can reprogram it for success through accumulated evidence. Start so small you cannot lose. Stack victories until confidence becomes inevitable. Remember that fear is a mile wide and an inch deep, and the only way to discover that is to walk through it. Do the thing and you will have the power. The confident version of you is not a fantasy. It's a future self waiting for you to build the bridge of kept promises. If you made it this far, comment evidence stacked to prove you're ready to start building. Your mind is either programmed for confidence or fear. Now you know how to reprogram it. If this shifted something in you, subscribe. There's more to uncover about the mind that's holding you back.